Please join me in prayer. As together we know that there is only one thing going on here, and that's Spirit, God, the great mystery, expressing itself in through and as this wonderful autumn day, in through and as each blessed soul here, in through and as all that happens. So I just welcome the presence of Spirit in my heart, in your heart, in this gathering place. And I know that Spirit makes itself felt, makes itself known within each one of us, as the Spirit within each one resonates and responds to the inspiration from Reverend Diana this morning. I know that we are blessed by this time together, and so I just know that it unfolds perfectly and powerfully, and I let it be so, and together we say, so it is. Amen.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
So good to have you all here this morning. Welcome. And if you're new with us, either in the room or online, my name's Reverend Diana Johnson, and I'm the pastor and spiritual director for Mr. Cart Spiritual Center. We're an interfaith community. We're independent. We teach universal principles and practical spirituality, following the common threads of truth that run throughout the world's great traditions. So I trust that this morning will lead you to the guidance and wisdom of your own mystic heart, where all of your answers lie. So we begin this morning, this Taizé service is a very meditative service, and so we lead into that this morning with musical prayer.
Welcome home to your mystic heart. Lay aside whatever came before. Let your own intuition start to guide you to heaven's door. Welcome home to your mystic heart. Lay aside whatever came before. Let your own intuition start to guide you to heaven's door. To guide you to heaven's door. To guide you to heaven's door. God in me beholds the God in you. Namaste. The God in me beholds the God in you. Namaste. All is beautiful. All is well. All is beautiful. All is well. The God in me beholds the God in you. Namaste. The God in me beholds the God in you. Namaste. All is beautiful. All is well. All
So we take a nice deep breath in. And letting it go, relax fully into your chair, allowing yourself to be held. And settling into this sacred moment. Together we breathe, allowing the presence of Spirit to fill our being, grounding us in the here and now. And allowing every out-breath to be an offering of peace. In the silence, breathing in presence, breathing out peace. We share this time of reflection, making time for prayer and meditation, opening ourselves to the voice of Spirit, and giving ourselves this most precious gift of stillness. Together we feel and know our connection with all of life. We envision a web of consciousness, a holy presence that surrounds, contains, and infuses all that is, that expresses as all of creation. Each one of us a point of radiant light in that web. Every human, every creature, the plants and the soil that give them life, all shimmering with the light of Spirit. The rocks and the minerals, the water and wind, all that lies below, and the forever nature of what we know as above. All of life, aglow with one radiant light. We take a moment now to sense, feel, and know that we are connected to all that is. As human expressions of the divine, we are caretakers in sacred service to one another, to all life forms, and to the planet that sustains us all. We trust and know that we are leaving an imprint of peace on the world, a ripple of compassion that comforts all who are in need. Wholeness is being revealed here and now as we join our hearts and our minds. This month we're considering what it means to see no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil. And this morning, we'll be spending time in contemplation of the power of the Word to bring peace. The world is in need of peace. Our countries, cities, and homes, in fact, our very minds seek peace. Peace is much more than the absence of war or conflict. As Nehru said, peace is not a relationship of nations It is a condition of mind brought about by serenity of soul. Peace is not merely the absence of war. It is also a state of mind. Lasting peace can come only to peaceful people. How do we become peaceful people with serenity of soul? By committing to be peaceful in our thoughts, words, and actions. We tend to think of peace as a goal to be achieved after the struggle is over. But the author of the Gospel of Luke suggests a different vision of peace. Instead of a destination, he sees a path of peace. When we affirm our oneness with the Christ consciousness, our inner light guides our feet onto the path of peace. Peace becomes the state of heart and mind in which we meet our human struggles. This is the peace that passeth understanding. Buddhist teacher Thich Nhat Hanh, in his book entitled Peace is Every Step, invites us to consider that peace is present right here and now, in ourselves and in everything we do and see. Every breath we take, every step we take, can be filled with peace, joy, and serenity. The question is whether or not we are in touch with it. We need only to be awake, alive, in the present moment. The spiritual masters throughout the ages have called us to return to the deep inner peace of spirit that is forever present and available within us. We are told that we possess the ability to access this divine gift at any moment we desire. We need only guide our thoughts back. Peace, be still. It is only by finding peace within that my words can become instruments of peace. We call to mind the ancient Sarum prayer. God, be in my head and in my understanding. God, be in my eyes and in my looking. As I contemplate this line, I have to wonder, in my day-to-day life, what am I looking for? What am I expecting to see? For surely whatever I'm looking for, I will find. We tend to see with the eyes of our analytical and judging mind. When I see with the eyes of the heart, I engage in a real form of looking. I see you as your best self. I see me as my best self. God be in my eyes and in my looking. Fill my mind and my eyes with expectations of goodness, kindness, generosity, and light. Then will I see the goodness in myself, other people, and the world. And finally, God be in my mouth and in my speaking. This capacity of ours for speech, for uttering an oral code that transplants thoughts from one private mind to another, is a marvel. Speaking is more than a skill. It's a gift of our humanity and a reflection of the one whose image we are. It is a powerful creative force. We can use speech to build up or tear down, to demonstrate loyalty or betrayal. And so in every moment I pray, God be in my mouth and in my speaking. Sometimes it is our lack of speaking that shows betrayal. Our lack of courage to speak truth to power that leads to destruction. It was Reverend Martin Luther King Jr. who said, "In the end, we will remember not the words of our enemies, but the silence of our friends." God be in my mouth and in my speaking.
St. Francis of Assisi prayed, "Lord, make me an instrument of your peace. Guide my thoughts, my words, my actions, that they may sow the seeds of peace, compassion, and love. Where there is hatred, let me sow love. Help me to respond with loving kindness, even to angry words. Where there is injury, let me sow pardon. May I always forgive those who hurt me. They know not what they do. Where there is doubt, let me sow faith. Encourage my trust in divine goodness despite appearances. Where there is despair, let me sow the seeds of hope. May I never, ever give up on people. Where there is darkness, let me shine your light. Where there is sadness, may I inspire joy. Make me a beacon of divine joy and wisdom. Grant that I may not so much seek to be consoled as to console, to be understood as to understand, to be loved as to love. Let me always bestow on others all that I desire for my own self. For it is in giving that we receive. Our generosity always returns to us. It is in pardoning that we are pardoned. When we forgive others, we are practicing self-forgiveness as well. And it is in dying that we are born to eternal life. As we stop participating in the world of greed, anger, and violence, heaven is revealed right here on earth. St. Francis understood that spirit works through human hands, through our hearts, and through the power of our words, and through our acts of kindness and compassion. If there is to be peace on earth, we must give it birth. As we share our 3 minutes of sacred silence this morning, I invite you to imagine yourself as an instrument of peace, of love, compassion, of faith and forgiveness. How would it feel for your every thought, word, and action to inspire greater peace in your world? Divine Beloved, Great Spirit, thank you for this time of blessed communion with you and with these beautiful souls worshiping with me this morning. Thank you for the guidance and inspiration that you continually give us. May we always have the intuition to hear your still small voice and the courage to fully accept your guidance. For an instrument to be made, metal must be heated and hammered into a new shape. Wood must be cut, steamed and bent, or hollowed out and drilled before it can be used to make music. When we ask Spirit to make us an instrument of peace, we must be ready to be transformed in ways that only God knows. Returning now to Reverend Diana's Taizé meditation, we listen for the voice of the divine as it inspires her words and as Spirit whispers its response within us. We center ourselves in peace, anchored there by the power of the Word.
One of the very deepest of human longings is the desire for peace. Peace of mind, peace in our relationships, peace in our homes and our neighborhoods, peace among nations, world peace can only come when we all cease from inner conflict. Inner peace and harmonious relations need to be cultivated. We may begin by holding this prayer as our intention and invitation. God be in my eyes. Help me to look and see through appearances and behaviors. Guide me to the place of namaste. Peace begins when we expect to see the divine essence in others. Even when they are unkind, we remember who they really are. And we might wonder, what has hurt you so much that you react with such hate and anger? Our prayer continues. God, be in my mouth. May I endeavor always to speak with compassion to the soul of others, to the sacred spirit that is their true nature. Rather than using my words to defend my pride, may I speak to our common heritage, our divine kinship, our essential unity. Spirit, may I respond with compassion for all. Speaking peace into our relationships requires seeing through the eyes of the heart. We cannot respond appropriately if we do not see accurately. God be in my eyes and in my mouth. Let me perceive the truth of this person, and let my response improve upon the silence. We close our Taizé this morning, allowing ourselves to settle into that which is eternal. I begin with the entire Sarum prayer, moving our prayer into music after that, and then closing together. God be in my head and in my understanding. Spirit, guide my thoughts to those of true understanding. God be in my eyes and in my looking. May I always assume highest intent and look for the divinity in another. God be in my mouth and in my speaking. May my words and tone be used to lift up, never to tear down. And may they promote peace in my relationships and in the world. God be in my heart and in my thinking. Creator of all that is, may my heart remain forever open, informing my thoughts so that they question rather than criticize, allowing me to practice true compassion. And God be at my end and in my departing. When this lifetime comes to an end, may I have been a beneficial presence on the planet, loving well and lifting many. May I have known the sacredness of life.
In a presence great and mighty, in a light that shines divinely, in a life that lives completely, in a joy that smiles serenely, in a peace that flows so deeply. In a calm, untroubled, happy, in a love that gives so freely. Holy, holy, in a truth that never fails me, in a power that holds securely, in an eye that sees so clearly, in an ear that hears him always, in a voice that speaks supremely, in a good that binds me to thee, in a grace, Lord God, within me. Holy, 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 in a grace, Lord God, within me. Holy, 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 holy,
Acknowledging one source, one life, forever giving of itself as all of creation. Trusting in our own perfection as an expression of the one. Feeling and knowing our connection with one another and with all that is. Trusting in the eternal nature of life, the eternal nature of spirit. Giving thanks for this beautiful fall season and its reminders to slow down, pay attention, breathe, and enjoy. Giving thanks for the guidance of Spirit, for this loving community, for this welcoming space, and for all of the many ways that it is supported. Giving thanks for the grace that showers each one of us with blessings every day, in every moment, every breath, every heartbeat, a gift. I joyfully and gratefully receive, releasing my prayer, trusting in the power of Spirit and the power of my word, calling it good and calling it done. And so it is.
And so it is.
Amen. So I invite you to bring your awareness back to your body, the atmosphere in the room, noticing the beautiful saintly faces that surround us this morning. Doesn't it feel good to be called a saint? Gives you a high bar to live up into, right? That's right, especially while you're still alive. A living saint. What better type? This is at least one branch of your spiritual family, people that care about you and are here to support you. So as we close our Taizé meditation this morning, we offer the opportunity for you to share of your financial goods, should you decide to do that, in support of the work that we're doing in the world. If you're online, you can find us at mysticheart.org. There's a donate button and a mailing address. We are an independent, self-sustaining organization, so we depend on your generous gifts of support. If you have found value in this morning, I encourage you to share the love, and we gratefully receive. So as we support Mystic Heart with our giving, we acknowledge that before we can step into our next yet to be, that person of perfect equanimity and peace, we have to walk away from our old ways. Marsh, do you have a song to share this morning?
I don't, Diana. I'm sorry.
Okay, I'll sing it.
Had I known.
So seriously.
Every morning, the light keeps getting brighter as I wake up to the truth. And every day, I'm feeling so much lighter, and the world seems fresh and new. What I was taught and the way that I thought stopped serving me long ago. But I'm learning to trust in the God of all of us. Each day I start anew, and so I'm walking away from the thinking that held me for so long. Today is the day I walk away. I walk away from the path that led me to confusion. Today is the day I walk away. I'm walking away from the thinking that held me for so long. Today is the day I walk away. Walking away from the path that led me to such sadness. Today is the day I walk away. Every day I walk away. Every morning brings a new beginning. By grace, another day to be. I awaken to the sun upon me shining, lighting the way for me to see. The things that I sought and the way that I thought stopped serving me long ago. Now I'm learning to trust in the God of all of us. Yesterday I'm letting go. I'm walking away from the thinking that held me for so long. Today is the day I walk away. I'm walking away from the path that led me to confusion. Today is the day I walk away. I'm walking away from the less than that held me for so long. Today is the day I walk away. I'm walking away from the path that led me to such sadness. Today is the day I walk away. Every day I walk away. Today is the day I walk away.
So we say thank you for these many gifts. We know that they flow freely of spirit through your lives, through your hands, through your hearts. We receive them humbly with a pledge to use them well. So I say thank you, Spirit. Thank you to each one. And so it is.
So it is.
All right, just a brief invitation, just because this is an important one. I don't usually do any after this service. But we will be having a State of the Heart gathering in November. What that is for us is a time for you to find out where we've been, how we're doing, where we're headed as a community. And this year we're going to do that as a gratitude dinner on November 14th from 6 to 8. It'll be a simple dinner, appetizers, soup, salad, dessert. There's no cost for that. This is the gift from Chris and myself for the community. But I do need to have RSVPs if you plan to attend. So that's the only invitation I'm going to make at this time. We'll do the rest after the conversation. So with that, let's bless you on your way either to the coffee and tea room to get something to come back with conversation, or on your way for your day, whatever works for you.
May your soul always find what it's looking for. May your heart always lead the way. May you live in peace and harmony. And may love always fill your day. May your path be strewn with happiness. May success find you everywhere. May you always embrace compassion and grace, and may God always answer your prayer. May you always embrace compassion and grace, and may God always answer your prayer.
Thank you for being here this morning. Feel free to grab something warm, and we're going to have a conscious conversation at 10:30.
Well, good morning, Mystic Heart.
Good morning!
I love you guys. Please join me in prayer. Oh, thank you, Spirit, for this beautiful day, for the bright sunshine, for the rain and the moisture. All of it is good. All of it feeds the earth, and the earth feeds us. So we give thanks for that wonderful cycle of life. We give thanks for each living soul here, each blessed saint here, as we worship together, as we converse together and just enjoy being in one another's presence and being in the presence of Spirit. So I just let our time unfold, knowing it does so perfectly, powerfully, joyfully, and lovingly. And together we say,
And
so it is. Amen.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome.
Good morning.
Welcome or welcome back, whichever it is for you. If you are new with us here in the room or online today, my name is Reverend Diana Johnson, pastor and spiritual director for Mystic Heart Spiritual Center. We're an independent interfaith community. We teach universal principles, practical spirituality, following the common threads of truth that run through all of the world's traditions. So this morning you are invited to, while we're speaking outwardly, also listen inwardly for the guidance and wisdom that will only come through your own mystic heart. So we start this second half, which is a much livelier, conversational kind of a thing, all of its own. And we're going to open up with some upbeat music. Don't hesitate to jump up and down, dance, sing, whatever you want to do.
Welcome to the Mystic Hour. Join the celebration. Lift your voice and sing your part. Make this affirmation. Spirit and family. Together we are joyfully practicing impossible prayer. Welcome to your mystic heart.
All right, this last one, Ricky Byers, is a call and response. I will call, they will respond. You can do what you like. I didn't know where that was going for a minute there. We're big on that around here. You do what you like. We're not micromanaging anything. Oh, let me live, whoops. Oh,
Let me love, let me love in a holy, holy way.
oh, let me love.
Let me love in a holy, holy way.
Oh, that love is all.
Let me know that love serve in a holy, holy way. Let me love in a holy, holy way. Let me love in a holy, holy way.
One way we can serve in a holy, holy way is to join in the sacred practice of envisioning a love-soaked world. So as we enter the imaginal realm together, grounding ourselves in the presence of peace. That space of infinite potential where spirit and matter are working together, turning all things to good. Go with me now to find yourself in a world where all humans are living from their highest potential,
Yes.
their deepest wisdom and generosity, their most loving nature, thoughtful of the impact of every thought, word, and action, the impact on other beings and on the planet. This is a world without greed, where there is absolute abundance and having enough, where all needs are met gracefully and easily,
Yes.
where nutritious food, clean water, and air are readily available to all, no matter where you live, what color your skin is, what family you were born into.
Yes.
Where warm, comfortable, and affordable housing is a given.
Yes.
Where all beings feel a sense of safety, belonging, and contribution. Ours is a world where mental and physical health, education, and healthy relationships are well supported by social systems grounded in integrity, honesty, and wholeness.
Amen.
Where all beings work and play at whatever feeds the soul and are well compensated for their service. All beings are valued and respected for their inherent sense of goodness. Authenticity and vulnerability are not only welcomed, they are celebrated. The peace we cultivate within ourselves shows up as a world free of hatred, violence, or indifference. The love that we are here to share is given freely to whomever our hearts are called to love. We've moved beyond all lines of separation.
Yes.
We live as one human family, caring for one beautiful planet with the reverence and respect that she deserves.
Yes. Absolutely.
By the power of our collective intention, imagining, and inspired action, we have undergone an amazing transformation. We are living in a world that works for all beings. We no longer give any power to appearances. We live according to our highest aspirations, and we refuse to lower our vision, no matter what the world may say.
Yes.
Amen.
Right on.
We are at peace with our families, our friends, our neighbors, and other nations. As we gracefully step into a new story for humanity and for the planet, this community stands as an open and welcoming space for all who seek support, belonging, and a sense of family. It redefines church as a place of self-discovery,
Yes.
authenticity,
Yes.
kindness,
Yes.
radical inclusion, and love.
Yes.
Giving thanks for the beauty of our world, trusting that a prayer powerfully spoken and deeply felt is already a prayer answered.
Yes.
My word is acted upon here and now. In full acceptance and great joy with the deepest humility, I release this prayer to the one who gets it done, and so it is. Amen. That
She ran
feels,
for president.
doesn't that feel? Oh, no.
Way too smart for that.
Marianne Williamson tried that. That didn't work.
I wish it had.
I know. But you can feel the shifted energy, right? We
Yes.
just shifted the energy for the entire planet.
Yes.
It made a permanent shift. The prayer is rippling out into the race consciousness, doing its good work. And last week we talked about there's nothing anybody can do about that. Nothing we can do about it. It's a loving act of defiance
Yes.
that we take part in every week, a loving act of defiance.
Take that.
Take that. That's right.
Put that in your pipe and smoke it.
So today we continue our theme from Teze in Conscious Conversation, and that is the power of the word. So if you were here at Teze, you'll remember that we spent time in reflection, hearing the words of Nehru and Buddhist teacher Thich Nhat Hanh, thoughts from the book of Luke and the Christian scripture. And basically the message was that the spiritual masters of all traditions and ages have called us to return to a deep sense of inner peace, a peace that is forever present and available within us, and that it's only by finding peace within us that I'll speak for me, that my words can become peaceful and be used to promote peace. And we called to mind the ancient Sarum prayer, God be in my head and in my understanding, God be in my eyes and in my looking. So as I contemplate this line, I have to wonder in my day-to-day life, what am I looking for? What am I expecting to see in the world? For surely whatever I'm looking for, I will find. That's how it works. We tend to see with the eye of the analytical mind, the judging mind, rather than the eyes of the heart. It's a tendency, maybe not for everyone, but I know that it happens with me at times. So as I engage in positive expectation and real looking to see the divinity, that's when I can see my own best self and the best self in everyone that crosses my path. Then we went to God be in my mouth and in my speaking. And so author Ken Wilson says, this capacity of ours for speech, for uttering an oral code that transplants thoughts from one private mind to another, is a marvel. Speaking is more than a skill. We reflected on this idea that it's a gift to our humanity, the particular type of speech that we have. It's not that other creatures don't have their own forms of speech, but the unique form that we've been given is a gift. And it's a powerful creative force. And we can use it to build up. It can be a force for good, or we can tear down. It can be a force of destruction. We also wrapped up toward the end by saying that sometimes a lack of speaking is what shows the betrayal, rather than the speech itself. That our lack of courage to speak truth to power can lead to destruction of all kinds. And then we quoted Reverend Martin Luther King Jr., who said, in the end, we will remember not the words of our enemies, but the silence of our friends. So God be in my mouth and in my speaking. So that's the nutshell. So I'm going to use the rest of the Sarum. There's a longer prayer. I'm going to use the Sarum prayer today for a jumping off point for our conversation this morning. And let's begin with clear sight and explore how the refraining from speaking can sometimes be more destructive than speaking. So let's start with clear sight. If I say the words clear sight, what does that mean to you? What does clear sight mean to you? Michael?
Endeavoring to see the best in everyone and everything.
Okay. Endeavoring to see the best in everyone and everything. Lucinda?
doing my best to let go of my own preconceived ideas before I start listening to someone else.
Okay, letting go of our own preconceived ideas before opening up to hear someone else.
Taking the blinders off.
Taking the blinders off. Yeah, okay. Chris?
For me, it means not jumping to a judgment about what's going on, but just let it unfold
All right.
before my eyes without placing any value judgments on it.
Okay. So just letting things unfold without judgment, without placing my own values. Anything else? April?
I think we tend to see the package before we get to know the heart.
Mm-hmm.
So those ideas of who someone is based on how they look need to be dropped and then give space for introduction.
Right.
I mean, if I walked up on you full of tattoos with all this camouflage on in the woods, would you just come up and meet me? Or would you just mind your business and be quiet and pass? And then you have the idea of someone, and then you have no idea who that might be that you may have just met in your life.
Right.
Yeah.
And we do that so much.
Yeah.
It's really sad.
It is. Set aside the package. Get to know the heart. Nice. So, do our expectations cloud or color our vision?
Yes.
How's that work?
It doesn't work.
It doesn't work. Good answer. Chris?
I was reminded of the story of, there's a priest riding a bus, and the guy gets on the bus, he says, I'm new to town, how are the people here? And he says,
Yeah.
well, how are the people in the place you came from? He says, oh, they're mean and nasty, and they weren't very friendly, they were, rip you off as soon as look at you. I expect you'll find the people here to be very much similar to that. The next stop, he gets off, another guy gets on and says, Father, I'm new to town, what are the people like here? He says, how were they where you came from? Oh, they were lovely, they were so generous and happy, and so I think you'll find the people here just about the same.
How about that?
Yeah.
So true.
Yeah.
Perspective.
Yeah. It's all about what we're expecting to see. Perspective. So in general, for yourself personally, do you have faith in the world as a life-giving, loving, and supportive place?
Here.
Okay. It's a good start.
Yeah, location.
Think about how you view the world. Do you expect it to be friendly, kind, loving?
You get surprised sometimes.
You get surprised sometimes.
I
Yeah.
see Reading as a wonderful place to live. I feel pretty blessed.
Mm-hmm.
There's a person in my life, she comes around me and she tells me all the reasons why she hates living here, and I'm going, I don't see it that way, you know, and so we all have our opinions and we both live in the same town.
Right.
And I think I like the way I see it better than she sees it.
Yeah.
That's her journey.
Right, that's right.
No judgment, I'm just saying.
Yeah. So think to yourself now, what do you expect of other people? Like, let's do some, like other drivers on the road, for example.
Oh, well,
What do you expect of other drivers on
had
the
to bring
road?
that up.
My sacred teachers.
So you expect them to be your sacred teachers, and so they are. Okay.
I expect them to treat me the way I would treat them, and I occasionally do make mistakes.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Anybody else have issue with the drivers on the road? Oh, Renee?
I was thinking about the question you asked right before that.
Okay.
About what are you expecting to see?
Uh-huh.
During the pandemic, I started following this newsletter called Good Good Co. And they just report on like advancements in social justice, environment, all sorts of like different, I don't know how to describe it. Basically positive things that people are doing around the world.
Yeah.
That are making really big changes. And so I started following them on Instagram and started reading the newsletter like once a week. Indigenous rights, gay rights, just so many things are happening. And was pretty blown away by what I was reading, and I was like, oh, this is weird that this is not in normal mainstream news, because this
Right.
is a lot of positivity, like.
Right.
And so I started realizing, like, the media in our country, and probably other countries too, they're focusing on the negative,
Yeah.
or they're kind of trying to say, oh, people are really divided right now, or people,
Right.
they're kind of like painting a picture for
Yeah.
us in our minds, and so we just go, oh, everyone's so divided right now.
Right.
But we're not really looking at all the humans in this country and all the like layers and
Right.
complexity to that type of a person. Even like someone that you think is really different than you, there's also complexity to them.
Right.
They're not.
That's true.
So I think
Yeah.
I've been really kind of not wanting to be cynical anymore.
Uh-huh.
Because I'm
Yay.
really like, yeah.
That's
well, I'm
huge.
also looking that factually it's not accurate.
Right. Yeah.
So
It's not.
it's like painting a picture in your mind that's like this really apocalyptic moment. And I'm like, well, that's
Yeah.
not really
Right.
factual. I'm not saying
No.
that hard things are happening.
Oh, sure.
I'm not
Yeah.
like, denying that. I'm just saying that there's also a lot of really, there's a balance in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There is. I believe that that balance is tipped toward the good always. I believe that evolution could not even be unfolding if it wasn't built that way. Right? Evolution can't happen if everything is going to entropy. Doesn't make sense. Chris?
I think, speaking to the unity and the good, there were a lot of people yesterday around
Oh, man.
the
Oh,
world
yeah.
and in this
In this
In this
city
city,
town.
I was surprised
itself,
about that.
and
Huge.
even in a place like Idaho, they
Yeah.
were in the streets. There's so many people who have the common good
Yeah.
in mind,
Yeah.
and it's showing up when we're given opportunities to
Yeah.
say it, to be there.
And it was peaceful, and it was powerful, and it was positive.
It was
Yes.
inspiring
It
to
was
see
very
inspiring.
inspiring.
people shoulder to shoulder, and
It
I'm
was
pretty sure
huge.
there were Republicans and
Yeah.
independents and Democrats, so humanity was speaking.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my next question had to do with expectations again. Oh, sorry.
I was just gonna say that I read somewhere that our default setting is to look for what's wrong.
Yes.
And
Right.
that's a leftover reptilian brain survival skill
Yeah.
that no longer serves us, but it still can become our default setting if we're not standing guard at the portals of our mind.
True. Very true. Yeah, Dave.
Yeah, I'd like to put a little perspective on what Renee said, because I think that's very true. The media tends to be negative. Part of that is the process of transformation, because not everybody sees the world that way,
Right.
right? So putting out the information that things are not all well, they're not exactly as we want them to be, is kind of the process of transformation, because if you don't realize it,
Right.
it's not gonna happen, right? So, what we saw yesterday, all over the world, in fact, not just here in Reading or Boston or Chicago, but in France and all over the UK.
It's true.
Yeah.
There were lots and lots of demonstrations saying, hey, we don't like what it is, we see what it is now. We've been
Right.
kind of blocked from actually seeing the truth of what's been going on.
Yeah.
And it's been going on for about 40 years.
Yeah.
And this is what we're going through right now. Yes, it's chaos and it's uncomfortable and it's not pleasant, right? But the maintenance of a positive attitude,
Right.
find those places like Renee has,
Yeah.
where you can see the positive
Right.
rising.
Yeah.
And I think that'll somewhat transform the media as we go along as well. They're gonna
Right.
start seeing the world a little bit differently. Their job has been today to expose.
Yeah.
right? Thank Donald Trump for exposing what is at the belly of humanity that
Right.
needs to be lifted.
Yeah. And the media will shift as we shift, because they only sell what makes money. If it wasn't more popular to watch the negative, oh my God, news,
Yeah.
they wouldn't be promoting it because it wouldn't be making them any money. So it's as we find alternatives to direct our attention toward, they will shift because that's how they'll stay in business.
Sure.
It's how this system seems to work. Okay, so expectations, I just want to throw something funny in. I don't know if you've been down East Side Road lately, but they've been working on a bridge for like years. And there's a stoplight and a one-lane thing, and before you get to the one lane and the stoplight, it says, expect delays. And every time I pass it, I say, I refuse. And I almost never have to stop. So, anyway. So let's move on to kind words, because that was part of what we reflected on today. We all know that words are powerful, that they can build up, they can tear down. We know the importance of choosing words carefully or even refraining until we have had time to think through what words we're choosing to use. So rather than revisiting that subject today, I'm really interested in talking about the Martin Luther King Jr. quote. And I'll repeat that again. In the end, we'll remember not the words of our enemies, but the silence of our friends. So what does that mean to you?
That's a really big one, and I used to teach public speaking at the college level, and during the last class, as giving my closing remarks to the class, I said, okay, now, a lot of you guys walked in here, you were scared to death, you didn't like to talk in front of other people, you were petrified, you hated this class, and now you've learned that you can actually communicate to groups, and you're a lot more comfortable doing that, so it is now up to you in your life, when you are in situations where you see something that is not what should be happening.
Mm-hmm.
It's your responsibility now to speak up, to say something, and that was my closing speech to my class. I had to do that.
How many of us in this room are comfortable being the one in a situation that isn't going the way we think it ought to, that's willing to speak up? They call it what? Speaking truth to power.
I wouldn't say comfortable, but yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's
Absolutely.
it's hard to do.
Yeah, it can be really challenging to do. I've heard it spoken, speaking truth to stupid. That was a minister that said that. Anyway, go ahead.
What Michael was saying reminded me of our character education program at the charter school I ran. And we were addressing the situation of bullies on the playground. And we arrived at the conclusion that there are no innocent bystanders.
Right.
Right.
If it's going on and you're not helping it stop, then
Right.
Yeah.
You're a
Contributing.
contributing factor.
Yeah.
That even works with the people in my life.
Mm-hmm.
And I've always just listened to what people say or whatever and just never said anything because I didn't want to make waves. But I've chose lately, I don't need you in my life if you're going to not
Yep.
be kind and loving. And I've kind of let people that I've had 20, 30 years of my life, I've said, I wish you well. I haven't said it to their face, but
Yeah, just
I
releasing them.
release them. And I'll tell you, I feel so much better.
Yeah.
Because even though I think, gee, I've known that person a long time and I love that person,
Right.
but it's not serving me when that person calls me and I go, "Ugh," it's
Right.
not serving me.
No, making you sick.
Yes,
You know?
so I've let those loving, wonderful people go.
Yeah. Marsh?
What I was going to say kind of picks up on this, and that is that we avoid uncomfortable conversations at our own peril in relationships.
Yep.
I really just experienced kind of the flip side of that in a relationship where I thought everything was wonderful and apparently it wasn't. And wasn't I surprised? Well, it was a result of no communication going on.
Yeah.
Right.
Not saying whose fault that was. It
Right.
just wasn't the communication.
Right.
And then personal relationships, communication is critical, and those uncomfortable things
Yeah.
are uncomfortable, but
Yeah.
so necessary.
Right. That's a good example of one type of situation where it's our responsibility to speak up when needed. What are some other situations? Bart?
This is kind of, it's kind of bringing up some moments. Was just a physical thing that happened one time, and a couple years ago, I was going into a department store, and these two men were starting to have an altercation, and I saw what happened. It was something kind of minor, but they were ready to kill each other. They were going to go, and they were just extreme emotions, you know, and people got out their cameras when I'm ready to videotape it. And I was walking, and I just could see what was happening, and and this isn't to tell my story, but I think we find courage when we don't even know when it can come through.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Right.
And I remember I just walked in up there to them, and I just said, "Stop." Oh, my heart's just pounding. I go, look at your humanity. Look at each other. And I don't know if I did diffuse anything. It didn't escalate. But these people were all just standing ready to see the action and not see people.
Right.
And it did deflect something. It didn't escalate.
Yeah.
Good for you.
But we never know where that courage may come from.
Right.
That's
Right.
right.
Yeah. So there has to be a real willingness to hear that coming through, and then the willingness to act on it.
Yeah.
And that's where a lot of people get stuck. Making me cry.
I just haven't felt it before. I think I've just kind of pushed it away.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Mark?
There's a common denominator that I've become more aware of. You mentioned the word a little while ago. It's attention. What you give your attention to.
Right.
And when this was a good example, when two men are about to face off and you see it, you could mention to them, hey, you guys are just going with the negative. Can you see that there's positive too? Can you overlook? It's all about attention, and attention is what sells. And people are interested because there's so much pent up anger in many people.
That's true.
They want to see somebody acting it out. And they sort of, they feel it, and it lets it out when they see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all about attention. So I can choose to have loving attention instead of hating attention. It's
So what are some of the...
I did have something.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was on an airplane one time, and we had landed, and we were all real tight, when you're about to deplane.
Yes.
And this one man just was really rude to this woman, and then it was a family. And he wanted to go in front of her even though it wasn't his turn. And you could tell there was other people around me too that were irritated by it. There's timing also. So I'm like, we're in close quarters. I don't think we need to have like a brawl where the people can't even get back here right now because everyone's standing.
Yeah.
But the minute I got off the plane, he was maybe a couple people behind me, and I went straight to the desk and I said, there's a man coming off the plane that had undue aggression to this woman and this family, and I want him to have security come and have a conversation. And these other people heard as they were deplaning, and then all of a sudden there was like 10 of us.
Rush.
Yeah. So I'm getting goosebumps right now because it was like we all stood up like, and it was like a Muslim family too.
Yeah.
And I felt like he was somehow emboldened to be that way to them.
Yeah.
And and then they felt like you could tell that they saw all of us, and they had a very good moment too of like,
Yeah.
people stand up for what's right.
Yeah. So look how powerful that can be for people and creating unity and connection between people. Lucinda, and then I'll be on this side.
I was thinking of a workplace situation or something similar, where there's a person in authority who's either mistaken about something they're saying, or they're maybe a little bit more aggressive than it seems like they need to be. And it can be really difficult. That was one of the situations where I had to work on it before I could be the one to step forward and say this isn't right.
Yeah.
But that's one of the things that's necessary in that kind of a situation.
It is.
Is to speak up.
Right.
For people who really, really, really feel like they can't.
Yeah. Thank you.
It won't change unless they know.
Right, right. How can it change? Joanne?
Two things. I work at Costco serving sample food in 30 years.
30 years.
But there'll be customers that want to start, they're rushed and they start picking on each other or in their old family.
Yeah.
So if they're walking by and I can hear something brew and I go, like they're little kids, they go, now. Nips it in the bud. My wife or whatever, And the other thing is, you mentioned the airplane. Years ago, we finally took a family trip with our 2 boys back east, and we went to the travel agency down, and we said, well, he's in a wheelchair. He's 14 years old, but he's little, he's quadriplegic. And they said, oh, everything is fine. All you have to do is just go to the airport and all that stuff, because we didn't know about traveling. So we get to the airport and we're lining up to get on the airplane. No, you can't come in. And he did have a little folding wheelchair, but anyway, everybody behind us was all ticked off at the airlines. I said, he's small. I carry him all the time. I can carry him down the aisle and sit him in the seat next to me. But they're having a cow, well then we'll fold the wheelchair and put it in strollers and stuff. But like they had no clue, we didn't plan on it. Well, we're asking the travel agency ahead of time, what do we do? But everybody's like grumbling and sticking up for us.
Yeah.
Like, how dare them?
Yeah. Yeah, great examples of speaking out when it's appropriate.
And I have a husband that doesn't really put up with these kind of things.
Right.
Waiting for us to turn around and go home.
Yeah. Marsh?
I was just going to comment real quick on the fact that there were a bunch of people getting ready to take a picture of a violent thing, which is why the media is what the media is.
Yeah.
Right.
You don't read media saying 2 woke guys hugged it out in Walmart today.
Right, yeah. So, how powerful are we in just directing our own attention at the good, at the positive? I mean, it does a lot of good to just refuse to view all the garbage. We can get our news through reading from responsible sources. We can keep up on what's going on without tuning into all the drama, living color and sound and all of that of the television news. It's very easy to do in our day and age.
And on the flip side of what we've been talking about, we need to speak up when positive things
Yes.
are happening too.
Yes.
And reward people verbally, say, hey,
Right.
that was a great thing you just did, or
Yeah.
whatever,
Yeah. Not just speaking up when something's wrong, but speaking up when something's right. How empowering is that for people? Lucinda?
Well, I was also thinking in terms of sometimes in a supervisory position or something like that, there are times when you have to hear things.
Right.
And that it's kind of a responsibility to hear that
Yes.
with a loving heart.
Yes.
Okay, changes might have to be made, things might have to happen.
Right.
But it can be done in a loving manner.
Yes. Yes, it can.
When people serve me, like I'll have to call someone and talk to them, I'll say, thank you for your service, and they go, wow, thank you, nobody's ever said that before.
Yeah.
And I'm really appreciative of what
Right.
they just did.
Yeah.
So I do that a lot, and And it's nice because people like being acknowledged.
Yes, they
I always
do.
say, hi Karen, it's a name tag, always
Right.
acknowledge they're a human being, you know.
Right, yeah, so simple things that we can do. Joanne?
I do that as well.
Yeah.
I raise my voice and I go, thank you.
Yeah.
You know, and especially children, if they're polite.
Yeah.
At Costco where they pick up the trash. And I even tell the older people, they pick up what they dropped and I go, thank you, because we have to go and sweep it.
Yeah.
And I can't serve food when I'm taking gloves off and sweeping. But
Yeah.
I always put a lip in, and I have trouble talking, I want to choke, but I managed to say, thank you, and I don't start choking. But
Yeah.
anyway, to let them know I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Like you did.
So what, okay, one more?
I was just gonna say, yeah, it does work at work as well.
Yeah.
Because when I had my servers, I would always make sure I let them know, if I saw them pre-bus someone else's table,
Right.
I would acknowledge it.
Yeah.
Thank you for pre-busting, then you know, everybody starts doing it.
Right.
Because they go,
They all
oh wow,
want-
that's
right.
appreciated, I'm gonna do that. Or, oh, thank you for grabbing the phone, because it wasn't their job, but
Yeah.
the phone was ringing and they grabbed it. And it makes a huge difference. Like,
Yeah.
really, that at work, you have to feel
It does.
appreciated.
Huge.
Everywhere, but.
Right. So what are some of the consequences, I'm gonna move us along a little bit. Some of the consequences of not speaking up, say, when something is going wrong. What are some of the consequences to not speaking up?
Knowing that whatever comes next is partially your responsibility because you could have changed it.
Yeah, getting to carry that, yeah, okay. April?
I'm in and out, so.
I know.
But what I wanted to say about that is also from an energetic standpoint, when there are so many things unspoken, it just builds up this energetic block
Yes.
in your throat, whatever you want to call it, that energy center. And after a while, if we can't move, it goes inward. Now you have all these resentments, you have all these things, and then
Right.
for some personalities, you're asking for some kind of explosion down the line.
Yeah.
You're asking for it to turn inward towards depression. When we do the somatic events, we yell, and we try to pop that open. When we did the drum circle for Dave, which was a great honor and a celebration, and we had that last song where I said, let it out of your throat, and everyone started to chant and sing loudly or just yell. You could feel that, and then afterwards, a few people said to me, it was very hard for me to be loud. I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
And it is something that we tend to not do very much in our culture, is
Yeah.
allow that voice out, and it's so important.
Yeah.
To not let that build up. It could turn into a tumor,
Yeah.
honestly.
Yeah. It can,
And,
yeah.
you know, maybe not every single thing you think you should say, but.
Right.
The things that are important to your spirit that don't
Yeah.
feel right when you don't speak.
Right, yeah.
I'm gonna go not burn your sausages.
Thank you. So what are some of the consequences of not speaking up when something good's going on? Because there are consequences of not lifting people up with your words when you have the opportunity. What are some of the things that happen? Chris?
As the years I spent in public teaching, praise was such a powerful tool for, behavior modification or for
Right.
just for character development.
Yeah.
If you do something, you go out of your way to do something especially kind, and you're not recognized for it, it's like, well, that's a big what for. And it's especially evident with little kids.
With kids, yeah.
But but it happens with adults too.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
One of my most powerful teaching tools working with children was when they would bring in a kid that had behavior issues. They'd come in with the folder and say, read all about it. I'd say, no, I don't want to read anything, thank you.
I don't want to be pre-programmed.
And I would take
Right.
the child and make them my assistant. Give them responsibility and call them my helper. And I never had a problem with any of those kids. They stood into it. They rose up to it. And they behaved as a leader and a helper. And we can do that with people in general.
You give them an expectation to live up to.
Right, yeah, raise that bar.
Yeah.
In a kind, loving,
Right.
respectful way, yeah.
I think it has to do with increasing the self-esteem.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When we're acknowledged and respected and spoken to kindly and
Yeah.
being seen.
And how easy is that to do? It's really easy to do. But we have to be, first of all, we talked a lot in Taizé about peaceful within our own hearts, willing to see the good in others, and then willing to use our words to uplift people. But it's not difficult. Kimberly?
Thank you. You uplift me all the time. And you've been one of the biggest help people or person in my life. Look how far I've come since I've met you.
It's true. Doing your work, girl. So when we don't speak up, why do we hesitate?
People might not like us.
People might not like us.
Yeah.
What will people think? Kind of risky sometimes.
I think sometimes we just get busy about our day. We're
Yeah.
self-absorbed and what we need to do and things.
Right.
And I think gratitude is a big thing that
Yeah.
isn't just for the pillow in the morning. you
No.
know. It's if we can see throughout our day of who is showing up for us and supporting us
Right.
the whole time.
Yeah.
And let them know it's gonna pull us out of our self-important sphere.
Yeah. I like that. Pull us out of our self-importance. It's true. So the prophets of the Hebrew Christian scriptures and the mystics of all traditions throughout time have spoken truth to power. All the traditions. There have been leaders, mystics, prophets. And I believe there are prophets and mystics amidst us now in the world speaking truth to power.
Marianne Williamson.
Marianne Williamson is one, yeah. Charles Eisenstein, Craig Hamilton. I mean, there's a lot of them out there right now.
Diana Johnson.
Yes, I was going to say.
No, I am going to cry. So if we are hesitant to speak up, what are some of the ways, or some ways, that we can begin to speak truth gradually? How can we become more comfortable with speaking truth to power?
Baby steps.
Okay, baby steps. What's that look like?
Just getting out of your self-importance, like you said, and being kind.
All right, being kind.
Speaking up in a group.
Okay.
When you're with a group of people who are loving and gentle and supporting everybody else, it's a good place to start.
Good place to start when you know you're safe.
Yes.
You can find your voice in those spaces. Chris?
I think it's easier to call out something good than it is to call out a problem.
Right.
So, I would start with praise and
Yeah.
get used to speaking up.
Yeah. I mean, something as simple as, if you don't already do this, reading the name tags of the grocery checker. Acknowledge by name and say thank you for your service. I mean, just something that simple to get comfortable using your voice to build people up. Chris?
Perhaps learning examples, witnessing examples of nonviolent communication. How can we phrase things?
Yeah. Yeah, so making a real study of how do I communicate? I statements in nonviolent communication, speaking for myself rather than blaming statements. Mark?
I enjoy deep thinking, and this whole time, since you mentioned in the earlier session, something about how do you find the light, or something like it, got me to thinking that here we go, fish at the bottom of the sea where there's no light, they have developed their own light.
Yes.
And if fish can do it, we can.
We can do it. Come on.
There you go.
Cherie, and then I'll be back over here.
I think also, I know we're talking about speech, but the follow through of doing, even
Yes.
small acts of kindness.
Yes.
I went to a very close friend's celebration of life yesterday, and when we returned home, the last thing we wanted to do is try to find the owners of these two doggies that were standing in our driveway. And so it proceeds that we're driving around the block several times and asking all kinds of people.
Right.
And then we finally gave up, and I was going on the Nextdoor app, downloading that on my phone, and we hear our neighbors that we thought didn't even have a dog going, "Peanut," and we're like, "Are you looking for a dog?" And,
Got one.
yeah, and I mean, it was a little Frenchie and a puppy with the Frenchie. And they were just distraught about being out.
Yeah.
And she said, "Oh yeah, we just got them. One I'm watching from my dad, and the other one is my brand new puppy."
Yeah.
And so, you know,
just acts of kindness.
Doing even when you don't want to.
Right.
Yeah. Even when it's
Especially-
very inconvenient.
Especially
Yeah.
when you don't want to.
Right? And what's
Yes.
funny about the divine, John could tell you story after story after story of a dog finding us and us finding the owner.
Yeah.
Like spirit goes, "Oh,
You're
can
dog
do this?"
people. Yeah. We're dog people.
We're gonna send them over to your house,
Right.
even when you're not home.
Yeah.
So that when you get home, you
There
see
they
them.
are.
Yeah.
We must be rooster people. Lucinda, and I'll work my way over here.
Well, we were talking about finding gentle ways to start out talking and speaking up, and I think that one of the things that's important when we're doing that is to make sure that we are speaking our hearts.
Yes.
If we start just going and forcing ourselves to talk and we're being phony, people will know.
Right.
Yeah, they'll see
And
right
could
through it.
react in ways that make us want
Right.
to sink back into ourselves again.
Yeah, so we want to think before we speak. Think. What does that stand for? Who remembers?
Is it true?
Is it true?
Is it helpful?
Is it helpful?
Is it inspiring?
Inspiring.
Is it necessary?
Necessary.
Is it kind?
Is it kind?
Oh.
Or inspiring, I also like, does it improve upon the silence?
I like that.
Yeah. Marsh.
I was just going to, in the spirit of saying thank you for positive stuff, Cherie sent just a wonderful, prayerful text yesterday to me that included myself and my wife and our in-laws are going through a medical situation. Anyway, the words that she sent were beautiful, and I screenshot that and sent it to the families, and they were just super appreciative of that.
Don't ever hesitate to leave your prayer requests on our text stream, on our online, on our prayer tree. Hand us a card, because we love to pray every day for you
And
guys.
you know, that's another example of sacred service,
Yeah.
because I was in my own world getting ready for this celebration of life, and it was tragic because he's our age and we knew him 22 years, and he died of alcoholism. And I was in my own world of being very heartbroken, and I could do that for you and your family.
It came from your heart.
Yeah.
Wow.
Thank you for that. Just those words of gratitude, that meant something to you. It meant something to me to be able to do that.
All right, I'm looking and seeing that it's time for me to ask my final question. Is there anything else that needs to be spoken right now?
Yes. Speaking again in referencing the little lesson learned from the fish at the deep part of the sea, we can learn to see the light in each other and
Yes.
even in animals.
Yes.
And let's choose to learn
Yeah.
to see that light and be delighted by it.
Yes.
Yeah.
I believe we can learn to do it. I also believe we can simply in any given moment choose to do it.
Yeah.
That it doesn't even have to be a learning process. It might take undoing habits, and that maybe that's what you're referring to as learning. It's a form of learning. Yeah, but being conscious and choosing to acknowledge the good, choosing to step out of our comfort zone to be helpful, to build somebody up, to do an act of kindness. All of us have the capacity to do that. It's not outside of our capacity. So, let's close with a prayer. And I'm going to have a little more music. And we have Oktoberfest happening in the lunchroom today. Woo! So join me in knowing that God is the only thing going on here. Each of us is spirit expressing in this moment and in every single moment. That never ever changes, no matter what. So I give thanks for all the goodness. I give thanks for the spiritual community. I give thanks for the infinite flow of blessings that surrounds and infuses each one of our lives. And as I move into my week, I choose to see no evil, to hear no evil, and to speak no evil. By the power of my word, I do only good. I adjust my expectations of others to only good. I trust the spirit of love to lead the way, the spirit of peace to fill my heart and mind, and the spirit of kindness to soften my every thought, word, tone, and action. I'm grateful for my deep faith, for the constancy of spirit, the power of prayer, and so grateful for this sacred community in which we all grow together. I give thanks for the countless blessings that are showering us now. And I know that as we open our hearts and minds more and more often to the one, that the blessings are multiplied again and again and again. So feeling absolutely full in this moment, I release this prayer in deep faith that a prayer powerfully spoken and deeply felt is a prayer answered. And I stand in humble expectation, trusting that everything that follows this moment is answered prayer. And together we say, and so it is. Amen. What a great conversation. I love this every week. It's so much fun. Who gets to have so much fun going to work? So as we close our conversation today, we're going to offer an opportunity for you to share of your financial good if you choose to do so. And while we're doing our offertory for the second half, we're going to offer you another song. We have a theme today. The first offertory was Walk Away, and this one is I Walk Away. So here we go.
Yeah, it's the other way around.
Oh, sorry. Okay, I walk away. Whoa, whatever.
Either way, we're walking.
We're walking.
These boots are made for walking.
We have to walk away from our old ways before we can step into the new, right?
We are the ones we've been waiting for. Which battle leads to the end of war? Our humanity can see this fight. Now walk away, walk away. Walk away. I won't be fighting today. Walk away. I won't be fighting today. Walk away. We are the ones we've been waiting for. Which battle leads to the end of war? Walk away. We are the ones we've been waiting for. Which battle leads to the end of war? Walk away, walk away. I won't be fighting today. Walk away, I won't be fighting today. Walk away. We are the ones we've been waiting for. Not the movie we've stood for. Walk away. The ones we've been waiting for. Which battle leads to the end of war? Our humanity can stand this fight. We are the ones we've been waiting for. Which battle leads to the end of war? Our humanity can stand this fight. We are the ones we've been waiting for. Which battle leads to the end of war? Our humanity can stand this fight. We are the ones we've been waiting for. Which battle leads to the end of war? Our humanity can stand this fight. We are the ones we've been waiting for. Which battle leads to the end of war? Our humanity can stand this fight. Walk away, I won't be fighting today. Walk away, I won't be fighting today. Walk away, we are the ones we've been waiting for. I won't be fighting today. Walk away, I won't be fighting today. Walk away.
Leads us to move into our week maybe in a more thoughtful and loving manner. So thank you for these gifts. They do their good work here, and so it is.
And so it is.
Love be with you, peace and hope, spirit with you, breathe it in, truth come through you.